Welcome to my garden. It is May 20th, 2022, and I've put in about half of the things that I'm going to be growing this year. So let me show you around. First here we have beds 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 4.5, 5, and 6. And we have 16-foot cattle panels going between beds 1 and 6 and beds 2 and 5. Last year I only had beds 1 through 6. I didn't have any of these small ones. So there are 3 3x3 foot beds. And I made them just bridging the gaps between things. So let's take a look at the garden. First up is bed 1. This has onions going down the middle of the bed. I have calendula here and here, and a nasturtium in the corner, and I'll be growing tomatoes in between. So I'll have tomatoes in between that I'll trellis up this cattle panel. On this side of the bed, I will have tomatoes growing here, and I stake those with furring strips. So those like 1 inch by 1 inch furring strips, they did really good for me last year and they're super cheap. I have a little okra growing right here. Okra did good here last year, so we're just gonna see how it does. I also have this beautiful Alaska tip-top salmon nasturtium from Baker Creek. I love these things, they're so pretty. Oh, I got another one going. Super pretty. So this bed currently doesn't have any of the tomatoes in it. That is going to be planted after the storm we have going through. There's all my tomatoes and peppers. So that has to wait until after the storm. I have some more nasturtium here. I have, these ones are just the jewel, so they're like a red. And then this is Alaska as well. All my Alaskas have this variegation on the leaves that are so pretty. Moving on to bed 2, I have onions down the middle. I have calendula here and here. This whole side will be tomatoes. I'll have 4 tomato plants in here. Wherever you see popsicle sticks, there's like rows of radishes. And I have a row of radishes running along here as well. So we're just waiting for all those to pop up. You can see I got little tiny sprouts popping up right there. Those are radishes. So I have some plants right here and here. Those are both cucumbers. They are Marketmore 76 from Baker Creek. And then over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all Armenian cucumbers, so they end up being really long. They will all climb up this trellis and kind of hang, so I'll be able to pick them that way. So that's bed 2. Here is bed 2.5. So currently I have some, I attempted to winter sow. So this is all eggplant that I've attempted to winter sow, and we're gonna just kind of play it by ear and see how that goes. In here I have 2 nasturtiums, some lettuce. This is Forel and Shalouse lettuce. You can see it has like the speckled leaves. I got some onions and some more nasturtium. And then I have a variety of calendula, nasturtium. I'll plant some basil in here. In the cinder blocks, that's what I'm doing, is calendula, nasturtium, and basils. So that's going to be in all the cinder blocks. Here is bed 3. This side will be all tomatoes. We got a nasturtium there at the end. In this section here, I have 3 different varieties of carrots growing. They're super tiny, so I did not do well at carrots last year. I'm probably not going to do well again this year, but it's my feeble attempt at carrots. And then we got some onions growing along here. Another nasturtium over there. And then we have 2 calendula. I kind of did that on all the beds that are going to have tomatoes. It's just kind of a general medicinal plant that can be grown, companion planting. So I'll have tomatoes on that side as well. Turning around here. Sorry if you get motion sick. So this bed is bed 4, and currently it has nothing planted in it. This will be all tomatoes and then peppers down the middle. So it will be tomatoes with sweet peppers in the middle. Right here I have some peppers, some more peppers. Winter sowing is just not my jam, I'm realizing. I started peppers that way and it just should not be done that way. I did super good on them last year and I just shouldn't do it again. I shouldn't do this version again. In this bed, this is also a new bed, so cinder blocks on either side, nasturtium, little calendulas, and I'll plant basil in any that are empty. In this bed, you can see there's like an X. So in all 4 corners and in the middle, I've done okra. And then in that section and this section, we got lettuce growing. You can already see it's growing. So that's very exciting. That was only 3 days ago that it was planted. These 2 sections are radishes. So there's some radishes right there. Everything's growing beautifully in this bed and I love it. So the okra should grow big enough that it shades the lettuce and the radishes, and the radishes deter pests for okra. So got a symbiotic relationship there with this little bed. This bed used to be the strawberry bed, and it's kind of short. It's not very deep. This is going to be where I have peppers growing. I'm going to have all my spicy peppers in here, and I'm going to have ground cherries in all the corners. So there's going to be 4 ground cherry plants and then peppers all throughout the middle, with various basil and marigolds as well. So that one's an exciting one. I'm looking forward to planting that. Swinging over here, we got strawberries. This is Nora's strawberry patch. And in between, we got lettuce. It's a mix between May Queen and Butter Crunch. So it's growing like super good. We should be able to start tearing off of that soon. But yeah, May Queen and Butter Crunch. I originally started with 5 strawberry plants last year, and now we have 11. Just taking off some runners. You can see like the smaller plants, and they're already sending off runners again. This one has runners like going out of the garden, so redirect that. Last year I had found some wild strawberry plants in my backyard, so I transplanted them into the ground right here, and I didn't know kind of if they would grow or what kind of strawberries they were, but it turns out these all have white flowers. White flowers mean that they are sweet and edible strawberries. So we're going to protect this little space and kind of hope we get some wild strawberries. As you can see, we got 6 buckets here. These 3 buckets are regular potatoes. I planted seed potatoes in there. They're still taking their time. The sweet potatoes are these 3, and they are just going to town. It's really cool to watch them. I've never grown potatoes before. So sweet potatoes and regular like russet potatoes. I think those are Kennebec seed potatoes, so we'll have to see how they do. I have these 2 yellow bins that I attempted to grow various things last year in them, and it just didn't go well. So this year I did read that peas grow well in containers. So I made these awesome bamboo and yarn teepees. So you can see I got just some yarn that was like scrap yarn that I made teepees out of. But peas are growing great. I have peas planted on the outside. So to look down in here, peas are planted on the outside, and then in the inside I have lettuce. So the peas will grow up and they'll shade the lettuce. So I can just kind of reach in there and grab out lettuce when I need it, or feed it to the chickens, or kind of whatever, various different things. Here is bed 5. We got, these are sunflowers that I planted in the corner here. along with some onions. Here's a few little onion sets. Those are growing super good. Ooh. Oh, we get butterflies in here, and I'm really excited for flowers to start blooming so we can see more butterflies. So, bed 5 also has 1, 2, 3, 4 nasturtium. I will be planting eggplant in here, and then tomatoes all along that side. This is our fake snake. It keeps away squirrels for some reason. It was here when we moved in, so. Right here, these are honeydew melons. They are going to be trellising up the cattle panel. They are called Ha-O-Gen from Baker Creek. We grew them last year and they were delicious. Wherever you see popsicle sticks, I got basil growing in those places. So I got basil growing here and here, as well as there and there. We love basil, and I'm really looking forward to a lot of pesto this summer. But we got 2, 4, 6 on the Ha-O-Gen melons, so we'll probably spread that out. I did not anticipate they'd all germinate, so I overplanted to calculate for that. Here's our other sunflower. It seems to be doing okay, but it's getting some bug damage a little bit. These 2 little things here, those are midget melons. So they are like tennis ball sized cantaloupes. So I have some planted there and there. You can see there's some coming up there. And when I get this trellis set up, I just have to dig down and set it in. The midget melons will climb up the trellis for support. So that'll be super cool to be able to be growing all kinds of melons that are vertically trellised. Right here, we got some radishes growing. This little line of radishes. This is in bed 6. So bed 5 had the Ha-O-Gen melons, and it's going to have eggplant and tomatoes. Bed 6 has zucchini, as well as some radishes and melons all in here. So along here, we're going to be growing bigger cantaloupe. These cantaloupe are called Petit Gris de Renier. And those are a really sweet melon that got great reviews on Baker Creek, so we're going to try them out. In between, so that's a melon, 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 and melon. In between each, I have radishes growing as well. And then over here, this is exciting. These things are getting so big. They're getting like their true leaves. That makes me really happy. So in between we have radishes, lettuce, radishes, lettuce, radishes. So this is all things that do well in the shade. Our house sits right here, so it gets pretty good shade in the afternoon. So this gets about 6 hours of sun max, probably closer 4 to 6. So it'll be really nice. This is an area we can just come pluck stuff in kind of succession sow. So that is bed 6. So this is the garden in all of its glory right now. Oh, that bucket. I planted some sunflowers in there as well so that I can plant some out by the chickens. And they're doing really good. They're getting really big. I planted about 20 in here. So, yeah, we'll see how they do. I can't wait to plant those out back for the chickens. So this is the garden. I'll show you once everything's planted, all the tomatoes and peppers are planted out, I'll show a little bit more. In case you were curious, for those who are, here are my tomato plants, as well as some of my flowers, basil, flowers, and pepper plants. So I got a variety of different peppers growing here. I did pick up a few peppers to kind of give me a head start on the season. I got zinnias zinnias and basil. These are orange hat tomatoes, so those are going to be grown indoor. I got some basil and nasturtium. This is Genovese. I got Emily basil and then blue thyme basil. Oh, that kind of basil is purple opal, so it kind of has a purple hue to it. Here we got marigolds. I believe more marigolds. These are snapdragons, hollyhocks, and pretty sure those are poppies or something like that. Here I have all the different varieties of tomatoes. So there's like 12 different varieties. I'll let you know when I plant them. And then I bought some at the farmer's market as well. And I got some eggplant and then 4 different varieties of tomatoes that I did not already have. But with these being significantly larger, they should be able to give me a head start on the tomato season as well.